Good morning. Here's your financial news roundup for Monday, August 18th, 2025. We begin in Washington, where Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is meeting with Donald Trump and key European leaders seeking clarity on long-term U.S. security commitments to Ukraine. This follows Trump's recent talks with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, where he dropped his demand for an immediate ceasefire. Now, there's tentative U.S. openness to offering NATO-style security assurances for Ukraine, aimed at ensuring protection after the war. European leaders, including Ursula von der Leyen, Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, and Mark Rutte, are attending these high-stakes meetings with hopes of forging a united front. Shifting to Wall Street, Citigroup is continuing its aggressive expansion under banking chief Vis Raghavan. Citi has now hired at least 10 senior investment bankers from JPMorgan Chase, accelerating its high-profile poaching campaign. The Financial Times confirms these new hires are central to Citi's broader strategy to reclaim ground in global investment banking. Meanwhile, a dramatic collapse in several U.S. penny stocks has left retail investors facing massive losses. A wave of social media-driven speculation saw 7 NASDAQ-listed microcaps surge in July, only to crash soon after, wiping out billions in paper value. The episode adds to growing concerns over retail market fragility and regulatory oversight in the social media era. Over in the private equity sector, Apollo Global Management is finding itself under fresh scrutiny regarding its ties with its affiliated insurer, Athene. In a defensive filing, Apollo pointed the finger toward rival asset managers, deflecting criticism about the rising levels of related party transactions in the insurance space. The issue is drawing regulatory attention in Washington as financial watchdogs assess systemic risks. Turning to Europe, wildfires in Spain have triggered the largest deployment of the EU's firefighting forces in history. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez described the crisis as one of the worst on record, with intense heat waves and dry conditions fueling the flames across the peninsula. The rising frequency of climate-fueled disasters continues to underscore the economic vulnerabilities linked to extreme weather. In energy developments, the UK's solar sector has quietly notched a milestone. Solar generation in the country has already surpassed its full 2024 output, thanks to solid weather and faster deployment of solar panels. According to data from National Grid and industry analysts, the output so far this year could power the entire London Underground for a decade. Over in London's financial district, IPO activity remains dismal. The Square Mile has seen just £8.8 billion raised through share sales in the first half of 2025. Adjusted for inflation, that's the lowest in 3 decades. Investment banks are now being forced to broaden their services and pivot away from the city's stagnant public offerings market. On the corporate earnings front, eyes are on Palo Alto Networks as the cybersecurity firm reports results later today, expected to provide insights into enterprise IT security budgets amid tightening corporate spending. Lastly, across industries, AI integration is reshaping how human resources departments operate in the U.S. Companies are increasingly relying on automation to streamline hiring and employee management, although some executives warn this trend may risk important organizational functions being devalued or lost. That's it for today's briefing. This summary draws on reporting from the Financial Times, Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, and The Guardian.